Mohammed bin Salman's arrival in Washington wasn't a routine diplomatic visit. It was a carefully orchestrated demonstration of power, confidence, and strategic intent. A crown prince whose influence stretches from the oil fields of Arabia to the boardrooms of Silicon Valley stepped into the White House for a private dinner that immediately captured international attention. At his side stood Donald Trump and Cristiano Ronaldo, creating a trio whose combined reach extended across politics, global finance, energy, defense, and cultural influence. Inside, conversations unfolded in quiet, protected corridors, discussions involving advanced weaponry, alliance recalibrations, and strategic positioning for the next decade. Outside, analysts and world leaders watched closely, sensing that this meeting represented more than a diplomatic gesture. It hinted at a shift in the balance of power between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Stay with us, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Zenith for more stories about wealth, geopolitics, and modern power. Before we revisit that monumental night in Washington, we need to understand the world Mohammed bin Salman comes from, a world built on legacy, ambition, and resources that can reshape entire regions. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, widely known as MBS, was born in 1985 and raised in Riyadh. He was not simply born into privilege, he was raised in the machinery of leadership. As a young boy, he studied the dynamics of governance firsthand, attending strategic meetings with his father, observing ministerial councils, and learning the delicate balance between tradition and modernization long before he held any formal title. His rise wasn't slow or ceremonial. It was rapid, assertive, and transformative. By his 30s, he had become Crown Prince, Defense Minister, and the kingdom's de facto ruler, a combination of roles that placed him at the crossroads of political authority, unprecedented wealth, and global influence. His personal world is almost unimaginable in scale and detail. To grasp the magnitude of his lifestyle, one must begin in France, at Chateau Louis XIV, a $320 million modern palace built on the outskirts of Versailles. Although it resembles a 17th-century royal residence, the estate blends historical opulence with cutting-edge technology hidden beneath marble floors and gold leaf ceilings. Downstairs sits a 3,000-bottle wine cellar, arranged with museum-like precision. There are two grand ballrooms designed for international receptions, each illuminated by chandeliers crafted to echo the Baroque era. Beneath the gardens lies one of the property's most remarkable features, an underwater meditation room located beneath koi ponds and sturgeon pools. Soft, refracted light fills the chamber, creating an environment that feels like a submerged cathedral. A statue of Louis XIV dominates the central hall, while the estate's digital controls quietly manage fountains, climate systems, lighting, security infrastructure, and garden operations spread across an enormous acreage. Even Versailles itself, with its centuries of age, cannot match the near-perfect maintenance and modern engineering of this reconstructed palace. Back in Saudi Arabia, MBS's palaces are no less extravagant. Residences such as Al Amar and Al Oruba stand as architectural statements, symbols of dynastic continuity blended with the luxury of modern design. These structures are made of imported Italian marble, hand-carved ceilings, embroidered wall panels, rare woods, and gold-plated details extending to fixtures, doorknobs, and even tissue dispensers. These aren't simply housing complexes. They are operational centers of a ruling family that governs both a nation and a global economic empire. Rooms stretch across wings the size of hotels. Private gardens, tennis courts, banquet halls, prayer rooms, and meeting chambers form part of vast complexes where tradition meets statecraft. MBS's influence isn't confined to Saudi Arabia's borders. He holds a presence in some of the world's most important cities. His penthouse at 432 Park Avenue in New York City sits inside one of the tallest residential towers on the planet. From its panoramic windows, the entire expanse of Manhattan is visible, from Central Park to the Hudson River, from Wall Street to the Upper East Side. This residence is less about luxury and more about symbolism. It represents Saudi penetration into Western finance, culture, and influence. In a city defined by wealth and ambition, this penthouse serves as an unmistakable signal that Saudi Arabia's global footprint extends into the heart of American power. Inside these residences lies one of the most valuable private art collections in the world. Art is not treated as simple decoration, but as an instrument of cultural authority. Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi, the most expensive painting ever sold, hangs not in a public museum, but in a secured private room. The painting, valued at over $450 million, serves as a reminder of the kingdom's financial dominance in the art world. In other rooms, Monet originals brighten morning routines, while sculptures worth tens of millions stand casually in corners. His daughters grow up in an environment that resembles a living museum, where masterpieces are ordinary sights. Their hallways feature gallery lighting, private security maintains climate and protection standards, and events inside these palaces often double as curated exhibitions. Guests are offered quiet tours of art collections that most people will never see outside textbooks. When the prince travels, he is accompanied by a fleet of megayachts that make most luxury vessels look modest. The megayacht Pegasus, purchased for roughly $200 million, is a 4-deck floating palace equipped with a Turkish bath, a full-sized cinema, spas lined with gold-accented fixtures, and lounges designed for royal-scale gatherings. The ship includes helipads, a 24-karat gold-infused spa treatment program, an Olympic-level gym, and interior design that echoes the grandeur of European palaces. Serene, at 134 meters, is even larger. It has a submarine dock, 2 helipads, a seawater swimming pool, a winter garden, and a suite configuration capable of hosting 24 guests in spaces equivalent to luxury hotel rooms. Its presence along the French Riviera often draws entire crowds, not because it is a yacht, but because it resembles a mobile kingdom. For his daughters, these ships serve as playgrounds, locations for birthday celebrations, family weekends on the Mediterranean, and quiet evenings at sea. These are not extraordinary occasions. They are routine. On land, MBS's automotive collection showcases his fascination with engineering excellence. His fleet includes the Bugatti Chiron, a $3 million supercar with a top speed exceeding 260 mph, the Lamborghini Aventador, powered by a V12 engine, the McLaren P1, blending hybrid innovation with track-level performance, the Ferrari LaFerrari, one of the most revered hypercars ever built, the Rolls-Royce Phantom, representing timeless elegance, and the Mercedes G-Wagon, a staple for luxury and security. Each vehicle tells a story: speed, prestige, heritage, or innovation, and each reflects a component of the prince's identity. Above the earth, MBS maintains aircraft that rival luxury hotels. His custom Airbus A380, valued around $450 million, is a flying palace designed to transport an entire entourage with ease. The aircraft includes a concert hall, a Turkish bath, private suites, lounges with vaulted ceilings, meeting rooms, and areas designed for relaxation during long-distance travel. Its interior resembles the combination of a luxury resort and a corporate headquarters. A modified Boeing 747 accompanies it, redesigned into a private airborne residence complete with full-size kitchens, meeting spaces, and personal quarters rivaling 5-star hotel suites. These expressions of wealth are underpinned by Saudi Arabia's vast oil reserves discovered in the 1930s. The partnership between early American oil interests and the Saudi government evolved into Saudi Aramco, the world's most powerful oil company. Aramco's production decisions influence global markets, oil pricing, and geopolitical strategies. Its revenues fund infrastructure projects, modernization efforts, government programs, and the royal lifestyle. Beyond oil, the House of Saud holds vast land assets in Saudi Arabia's major cities, Riyadh, Jeddah, Mecca, and owns major hotels, commercial complexes, residential developments, and transport hubs. Internationally, the family invests in prime real estate across London, Paris, and New York, ensuring diversification and long-term economic stability. Central to this modern strategy is the Public Investment Fund, or PIF. Under MBS's leadership, PIF evolved from a conservative domestic fund to one of the most influential sovereign wealth entities on Earth. It holds significant stakes in Uber, Lucid Motors, global sports clubs, major entertainment brands, Silicon Valley companies, luxury real estate projects, and renewable energy ventures. PIF's strategy aligns with Vision 2030, MBS's ambitious national plan to diversify Saudi Arabia's economy, reduce dependence on oil, expand tourism, invest in artificial intelligence, and establish new industries on Saudi soil. PIF is not only a financial instrument, it is a geopolitical lever. Now let's return to his recent visit to the United States. Picture a world leader entering the White House, not with the posture of a visiting guest, but with the bearing of a sovereign stepping into another center of power. The courtyard was lined with armored Suburbans. Secret Service agents stood motionless, their eyes fixed on every possible angle. Inside, the state dining room was prepared for one of the most symbolic events of the year. On that crisp Washington night, the White House gates opened wider than usual. The preparations weren't ordinary. This was MBS's first major appearance on American soil since the controversies of 2018. His return carried weight. At 7:43 p.m., he stepped out of his convoy, greeted by lights, cameras, and a cold breeze rolling off the Potomac. The atmosphere shifted as he entered, and the significance of the moment was unmistakable. Inside the dining hall, another surprise awaited. Cristiano Ronaldo, the world's most followed athlete, seated at the same table. Ronaldo's presence wasn't entertainment, it was strategy. In recent years, Saudi Arabia invested heavily in global sports, not just to host events, but to reshape cultural narratives. Ronaldo, now a symbol of the kingdom's sports revolution, represented that shift. His placement beside world leaders signaled a blending of political influence with global celebrity marketing. Trump greeted MBS warmly, aware that the evening represented more than diplomatic courtesy. Hours earlier, the United States announced plans to sell F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia, technology typically reserved for America's closest allies. Additionally, Trump confirmed that Saudi Arabia would receive major non-NATO ally status, elevating the kingdom into a category reserved for deeply strategic partners. The room shimmered under crystal chandeliers. Gold-rimmed plates, polished silverware, and ornate decor set the tone for discussions that blended diplomacy with global strategy. Ronaldo sat quietly, absorbing the room, representing the cultural component of Saudi Arabia's growing international influence. His presence, combined with MBS's and Trump's, created a tableau of modern power: the political leader, the economic titan, and the global icon. The timing made this gathering even more impactful. For years, MBS engaged the West from a distance, focusing on megaprojects like NEOM, acquiring global sports rights, reshaping entertainment industries, and modernizing Saudi infrastructure. Now, he was making a direct return to U.S. political arenas, backed by economic leverage and cultural momentum. Behind closed doors, discussions circled around defense cooperation, stabilizing oil markets, expanding technology partnerships, establishing new trade channels, and enhancing security collaboration. Topics ranged from artificial intelligence to regional energy policy, from arms agreements to future economic developments linking Riyadh and Washington. One moment stood out. After the final course was served and conversations eased into toasts, Trump paused and acknowledged MBS as a historic partner. Ronaldo nodded subtly, recognizing that his presence helped elevate a message that extended beyond the realm of sports. When the dinner concluded, guests stepped into the cold Washington night, aware that the world they walked back into had shifted slightly. Saudi Arabia was no longer positioning itself solely as a regional powerhouse. It was asserting itself as a global actor, leveraging culture, finance, alliances, and celebrity to reshape its role on the world stage. As MBS exited the White House, he paused briefly, glancing back not as a visitor, but as a figure who had just reintroduced himself into American political circles with renewed force. A crown prince, president, and the world's most famous athlete had shared one table. The symbolism was undeniable. Power is no longer confined to borders. It travels through influence, culture, economy, and image. And those who understand this are not just participating in global dynamics, they are redefining them. So now we ask you, was this dinner a diplomatic reset or a masterclass in image engineering? Was it foreign policy or the beginning of a new era of celebrity-driven geopolitics? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Zenith. Because in a world where kings sit beside athletes and presidents dine with princes, power doesn't simply move, it performs. And we'll be here to show you every scene.